Hello YouTubers, Souchaku back with a review, vlog, or an unboxing. Please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you all enjoy the video.
Hello YouTubers, Souchaku here, and here's part 2 of Day 1 of Ryuki Week. So now we're taking a look at the very first advent in Kamen Rider Ryuki, Kamen Rider Knight. Or Kamen Rider Wing Knight if you prefer Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, or if you want to appreciate the funny, Kamen Rider Batman. Because, let's face it, with the way his head looks and his cape, he's pretty much a Kamen Rider version of Batman. Anywho, let's take a look at the box first because, well, that's how I roll. You should know this by now. Oh, too close. Okay, so for the Souchaku Henshin style of boxes, we have the figure right here with the armor all attached with a nice blue for Kamen Rider Knight. Nice Ryuki logo here. This probably says Souchaku Henshin in kanji, but I'll have to triple and double check on that. But it says Souchaku Henshin series here. Masked Rider Knight. I'm just saying Kamen Rider Knight for now. The actual helmet of Kamen Rider Knight right here. And this this see-through part is where you would see some of the armor for the figure along with the main body piece. So, pictures of both Kamen Rider Knight in the suit with the Souchaku Henshin figure actually posed as him, which actually doesn't look all that bad to me. That's the same thing right there, which is very nice. And on the back of the box, we get the figure with all of his pieces, sword, or final vent. Sword vent, that's not right. That's just his dark visor. That's his sword vent. And that's guard vent. Ugh. And there's also a picture of Wing Knight, or Kamen Rider Knight right here, holding the Survive card. Will I be reviewing the Survive versions of Ryuki and Knight? Maybe if anybody is willing to sell me them for a dang dirt cheap price. Because they've been going for like 20 bucks on eBay. Anywho, enough of the box. Let's take a look at the base body. Now, mainly all of the Ryuki Souchaku Henshins have the exact same body and almost the exact same amount of articulation. So, if you want to know all about the articulation of the other figures, just refer to this video. It'll just tell you everything you need to know. So, anywho, the face does not look like Ren Akiyama in the slightest. And this head is actually reused on a few of the other Ryuki riders for the Souchaku Henshin line. Cutting corners much? Anywho, articulation-wise, without the armor on, arms can go up that high, bends at the elbow, at one joint. The wrist can swivel. Oh, and I forgot to mention during the blank Ryuki review that the wrist can also go a full 360. The waist has a swivel joint. The legs are on ball joints, so they can go forward and back. Bend at 2 points at the knee, which is awesome. And, yep, it's got a swivel at the top of the knee, and he's got a metal ball joint. So you can get a lot of really good pivot out of this thing. And you can definitely call these guys precursors to figure arts, aside from all the parts forming. Anywho, like the parts forming thing that I mentioned, he comes with a lot of different armor pieces. And we're going to actually talk about them as I put them on. So what you're going to do to put the chest armor onto the figure, what you got to do is fold his arms up like he's doing jumping jacks. Go to the chest armor and split it in the back all the way. Well, possibly all the way, so that way you can wrap it around his arms. Let me do it on the other one. Take it and clips, or kinda clips into place. And because of these hinges, the arms won't go down all the way, but I guess that's how they're molded, I guess. Okay, so there's the chest armor. Almost all ready to go. So now we got the shoulder pieces, which, yeah, these are die-cast metal. Half of this figure is metal, though it's got a lot more metal. It's a lot better in terms of metal usage than I say, Transformers Titanium Soundwave. Anyone? Hey. So you put the armor pieces on the shoulders like this. Oh, and I'm only showing the armor assembly for this video, so that way the video won't run as long, which I'm sure this one will. So you take the the forearm pieces, attach them to his forearms. Take the holster for what will be his dark visor and stick it into the port, or left port, on his left side. Then you take the advent belt clip, which is actually very nicely detailed. I'm sorry you're not going to be able to see that, but it does have Knight's logo on it. And just like the armor pieces and forearm pieces, this thing's metal. Or die-cast or something. I don't know. Something close to metal. Let's go with that. Anywho, that just goes right in there. And with the helmet, just split it. Go around here. Put one side on the back of the head. And put it together. So now you got Kamen Rider Knight all armored up. And might I say, this guy with his armor on looks really incredible. For a size comparison, let's just bring in Decade. No, he's not here to destroy the world. He's just here for a size comparison. Right now, they're like foot to foot together. And as you can tell, they're actually not that far from the height. At least from my angle, anyway. At least, see, I think the Souchaku Henshin toys are like at least, I don't know, half a head shorter than Figure Arts. So, they are still good in this day and age. Anywho. Oh, and possibly if I get another Decade Violent Emotion, that one will probably be painted into Dark Decade, and I will probably do a review of that. If you have an extra Decade, or even the original Decade figure art as an extra, please sell it to me so I can make a Dark Decade custom. Maybe as a commission to help me get the BotCon. Just a suggestion. Anywho. Now, his articulation with the armor on is kind of limited. Because if you try and move his arm up any higher than this, then the metal armor is bound to slide out and fall out. But yeah, most of his articulation is still there, like his ball-jointed head, so that way he can go full 360. Though you kind of got to be careful, because if you try and move the head, yeah, you gotta hold the helmet together while you move the head. Which is kind of a bit of a shame, but I can live with it. He can kind of look up a little bit. He can look down a little. And such like that. Oh, and I also forgot that he also rotates at the top of the elbow. Which is probably something I forgot in the blank Ryuki review. Okay, now let's talk about his accessories. Now, these little things here, I never thought that these Souchaku versions would come with. And like Decade, they have little tiny versions of their advent cards. This one I'm holding right now is the card for Wing Knight's final event. Which, actually has very nice detailing despite the fuzziness on the camera. It looks very nice, and I can't believe they were able to print the sticker in this high a detail. Well, I guess that's why we also got Decade's cards in the Figure Arts release. You know, now that I think about it, after this review I'm probably going to check if these cards can actually fit inside Decade's hands. We'll find out. Anywho, there's the final vent card. You also get another card for his sword vent. And finally, you get a card for guard vent. Speaking of guard vent, here's Darkwing, his Advent Beast. And he looks very nice. He looks very nice in detail, though he's got... Sorry for using the word, but he's got nipples. There is a reason for the nipples. And the cape detailing is very nice. Though it's kind of not like the Figma version. It's just kind of a hard plastic, kind of like Figure Arts Denib. Oy. But Darkwing's head is on a ball joint, so that way it can go a full 360. It can go up and down a whole lot. And the way he attaches to Wing Knight is via the two ports on the back, on his back, much like the TV show. However, there is a bit of a problem. There is a bit of a problem with this accessory. Yeah, it kind of makes the figure top-heavy. Which means you have to kind of angle his feet. You gotta angle his feet in order for him to stand. And even then, it's not real perfect. Come on, Knight, don't do this. I thought you were the one who kicked Odin's butt in the last episode of Ryuki. Let's take a look at his weapons, which is his Dark Visor, which actually has some very nice detailing, and the silver details on the top right here, these were missing from the Dragon Knight release. And if you're wondering what that faded yellow is, that is actually the symbol for Wing Knight. Same as on his sword vent, the yellow, or gold I should say, is kind of faded, which is a bit of a crying shame. But anywho, the Dark Visor can go into that holster very nicely, and the way I have Wing Knight displayed is if I take the Dark Visor, have him hold it like that. So in closing, this is Zeltrix Millennium saying goodnight, good luck, and Ryuki Week has just begun!